Back Phoenix Wright, and after a short, not 3 hour long session with the parents, he is back. Ben is back. And you know what?
Baby.
Let's see. I guess I'm doing the voice for the Mr. Indian dude, the Native
None
American,
touchy
sir.
wudgy, as always.
And we should be okay with that. So, oh, was that a Discord notification? Let me just go ahead and see what that is. Does that explode saying you decide to do something else? No? Okay, no, it's somebody else. All right. Anyway, go for it.
I have no doubts in regards to this witness testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross examination.
He is simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
Yeah, can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Acra's physical state. All right. Suppose I could have lifted some. I suppose I could have lifted something that size of that bust. Okay. Have you ever lifted up the bust before?
No, I have never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this.
Money. That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before.
Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling.
Strong upper body from workout as an acrobat. Okay. So what have you been doing to keep in shape?
Well, honestly, I have given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope.
You don't
Call it
say.
bullshit. Then why does
But
he have all the weights in his room?
But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Wow. Mug asshole. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. It's not a race, you fucking bitch.
I wouldn't lose either, slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Whoa, 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 whoa! How did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden?
Lois, this is not my race.
I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear.
What is that a reference to? It's like, oh, there's the
Yogi?
average bear.
Yogi?
That's Yogi? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's like, either that or Winnie the Pooh.
However, lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been impossible. Okay. And why is that?
Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself.
That's
I'd
why
still-
there was rope.
I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet.
Yet is the word.
So you couldn't have thrown that bust out of the window.
There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force in my lower body. Okay. How long do you think your recovery will take?
You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extreme intensive rehabilitation. But it's still going to take a while before I am back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head.
That's false.
Why would you say it would be impossible?
Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head.
But you knew where he would be.
Well, I suppose you've got a point. Hey, Nick. Huh? What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this? If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust. That does make sense. Only if I could prove somehow.
He knew where it was. We have the note.
The Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down.
Your hippie act is not fooling me, Buster.
I think I have already explained things sufficiently.
Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? Okay. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all.
If I had to do was drop it, you're right. I could have done that. However, there is no way that I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head.
So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright?
Acro is strong enough to lift up the bust. The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head. I wonder if it would be used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster. That's a ticket, Nick. Show them what you've got. I have to be very careful not to find something that fits perfectly with the case. I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something. Okay, so yeah, let's give that point over to Ben on this one. Okay,
Well,
that makes...
There's something else involved too. Maybe it wasn't as easy as a rope. Again, hold on. Look at the picture of what we have of. Don't we have a picture or something? Wasn't he right next to a lamppost? The ringmaster, the dead ringmaster. I guess not. Never mind.
That's what I'm back.
Oh, hey. Eggman's dead still. Yeah.
Something to help aim it with. Well, unless the monkey was being his eyes, so to say, because it'd be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think?
Yeah, well, meet me at 10 p.m. tonight at the Lodging House Plaza.
Yes, and we have confirmation from, the jailbait that this is in fact written by him.
10
At least he said
p.m.
it's like, yes, I wrote it.
And what was the time of death? Time of death 10:15. Blunt force
So that means
trauma
that he arrived at 10, but
kind of situation, right? Stayed there for
so yeah,
like a
he
good
probably
solid.
could have been there.
Yeah. This would be.
But then again, the monkey could have very well have been his eyes. It's like, oh, he could have very well lifted up the bust. He even said the monkey could even lift up the bust.
Well, I think that just explains how the bus got to him. Is the monkey took it in, so that gave him an object to use. Okay, that would make it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. There's no way I could have. What?
Okay, never mind, Nancy. Yeah, not with his lower body. Maybe we should press that. What's that gonna say?
We've gone through all the dialogues. We looped back.
All right.
So I
well,
think
he
at this
says
point,
it's impossible for me to have known. It's like that's actually a lie because you wrote this note. You knew where he was because he was there, which means you knew where he was.
yeah, strong upper body. However, lifting the bus, looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force. Makes it possible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. I think that's the BS that we throw out.
Yeah, he knew exactly where he would be, and therefore he knew where his head would be. Really?
No. Yeah, okay. Here, I thought that was the case too. Okay, that makes it impossible for me to have known the ringmaster's location. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? Unless we put on the wrong one. I'm just gonna throw it out here. Nope. Okay. Figured I'd take the risk on that one, but
well, potentially it's the monkey because so there's a disconnect by saying it's like, oh yeah, I totally could have lifted it up. I could have taken it to the window, but how could I have possibly done that? It's like, and he says that dropping it out the window would have done something else. So unless we can actively say, well, what if the monkey helped him push it out? Because yes, he couldn't have pushed it out by himself. Maybe the monkey actively helped.
nope, not the monkey. Especially on that bit of dialogue. Okay, what else do we have? Max salary. Emblazoned max 3 famous symbols. That's no longer relevant. Leon is no longer relevant.
Not yet, anyways.
Wooden box. Wait, the victim was hunched over a 20-pound box. It boasts a small but strong lock. Photomax's award ceremony. Bronze statue. We're pretty much on the bust is the thing that we're kind of looking out for. Let's go from the very beginning. I suppose I could have lifted something that size of the bust. Okay. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were
Wait a
injured.
second. Hold on a second.
What?
Remember, that case is super heavy. That's 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe we have to throw the case at him? The case that the Eggman was hunched over? I don't know.
Victim was hunched
Because
over
there's-
this 20-pound box. It boasts a small but strong lock.
Because, I mean, a bronze bust would be pretty heavy.
Oh, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Okay, think about it. I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something. Shouldn't take too long.
Alrighty, chat. So,
And explodes because he's still here.
alright.
Yeah, I think I remember this one, but I'm not sure.
So all that we were saying so far in this testimony is like saying, oh yes, I very well could have picked that up. I do have some good upper body strength, but he has been confirming it's like, oh, I've not actually been exercising anything recently, but we have no way to honestly disprove that, so we have to take him at his word. Plus he says it's like, oh, and even if I were to honestly get it up onto the ledge, I couldn't use any other strength to push it over the edge, which means even if I could push it over the edge, I couldn't have possibly known where he is at. And we tried throwing out the whole, the note that was left that says, oh, meet me at the plaza at this point tonight. So the thing is, he's denying that. It's like, oh, well, I may not be able to get to the ledge, and I may not have actually been able to push it off. And even if I did, I doubt I could have hit him on the head. It's honestly confusing, and I know you know more about it, so it's like, okay, you can't say too much, but hypothetically, just say you don't know. How would you go about this?
Figure out how he would know he was standing there, which I don't think the monkey could do because you'd have to train him for that specific moment.
Yeah, and as established, the monkey only goes after shiny things. I did bring that up. So it's like, okay, well, maybe the monkey helped push him off. It's like, there'd be no reason for the monkey to push it off because we don't have anything shiny for him to use to push off. So, throws that out the window. Although we tried proving that it's like, okay, well, he made the note and he was there, which means more than likely he did actively know where he was at. Although there was a possible hint that it's like, okay, well, did he use anything to help him aim, perhaps? But we don't have anything in our evidence to suggest that he had any help with aiming, unless that's what the monkey was for. I mean, the pepper thing seems like a red herring at this point. All right, well, let's see. So I honestly tried thinking that maybe the box has something to do to prove his strength because I don't know. I just assumed the bust in that would be of a similar weight. I don't know. It's like we have it all. It's just what do we need to focus on? Because honestly, right at the end is when he says, "Oh, I couldn't have possibly known where he is at." So it's like, okay, it's a question of his strength, a question of if he could get it there, a question of his aim, and then a question of if he knew it was there. So he tried going at the very, very end of it. It's just,
Honestly, the answer is probably right under your nose.
is it the wooden box? I mean, is it the box?
I say.
I'm back.
I mean, I just suggested that maybe he should use the wooden box to prove that, oh yeah, he should be able to actively lift something as heavy as that because 20 pounds and that bronze bust, it probably would be something close. Okay, explosives say it's probably right under your nose, but that kind of either at worst means diddly nothing, or it means that okay, it's literally on the box right now. I don't see how though.
Again, I'm not going to confirm that I remember it exactly, but I am right about remembering it.
All right, it's not that. I mean, we literally just start throwing things at the wall because.
And even then, I don't remember the chain of events. I just know that.
Okay, so far in his testimony, from what I'm going over in my head, and it's got to have something to do with our evidence, is that he has not to confirm. He's yet to confirm that he can lift something that heavy. And he's like, even if I did, how would I get it to the window? And even if I got it there, how could I have pushed it off? Because that requires lower leg strength. Although he himself has admitted that he's not yet at 100%, but he has said that would require more strain on his body. And then he's like, even if I could have pushed it off, how in the world would I know to hit him? It's just like 3 different things. Like we got to go through that checklist.
How about we put the wooden box on the impossible for me to have known the location?
That's right, because it was there. He fell on top of it. Oh shit, maybe because he was talking about aiming. It's like, how could he have aimed it? Well, there was a thump, and yeah, the body never fell on the ground. It fell over the case because he was. Point for Mark.
Acro! Didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What? Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah.
Mr. Wright.
You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Objection. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job hinting. But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes, hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this photograph.
Every time I look, it makes me laugh.
The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. Oh, sorry. That one.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over?
Yes, precisely. The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here?
Ooh.
When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit, your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bus came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear.
You mean?
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
There would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
No.
Order, order, order. This is unbelievable.
Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. So I can only assume that at this point, Phoenix, not Phoenix, Eggman was going outside, and then he was like, whoa, what is this weird box doing over here? And then thwam. That's what happened.
Yeah. And the monkey has been shown to actually be able to pick up the bust, but the bust was seen flying.
Mm-hmm.
So unless we're going to have one more day to prove it's like, oh yeah, by the way, here's the rope.
Nah. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward.
So the next question I have is, who placed the wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ah!
Allow me to whip some sense into you.
Yeah.
Mr. Phoenix.
Ah!
The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box.
That's why the box was so specially made.
Specially made?
Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. Size of the box, the weight of the box. Yeah, the weight of the box, yeah. Because Eggman couldn't lift that thing up. That would probably be too heavy for him, but not for him and the monkey.
Position of the body, he clearly tried to lift it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
The box has a remarkable weight.
Wait.
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required...
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
Good job, Judgy Wudgy. You're on our side.
That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in the approximate same place.
Fool! Baka!
Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? Ty. Over here.
I heard what you had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. You did it? Did you do it? Did you place the wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done something so ridiculous.
Oh,
But
wow.
any
That's
would
not what
believe
he's
that.
proposing.
I know. I was setting up for. You'd have to be an idiot to believe it.
What?
I said you'd have to be an idiot to believe it.
What?
Oh, I mean, do you recall the original location of Max's bust?
The original location,
Wait,
Max Bus.
hold on. Why
What?
would there be a choice? If we say we forget, then he would have to confirm where it is. so he could potentially self-incriminate himself.
You
Because if we
recall?
recall, then we would have to be telling the court, and would seem like a bias, perhaps.
I forgot. Oh, okay. I kind of forget.
Nick, don't tell me you're losing your memory already.
No, no, no. Let's not get carried away.
Hey, stick out your head just a little. I got just the thing. A mighty kick. Enough of that. No horseplay in the courtroom.
But
And
foreplay's
no
allowed.
kicking dispensatory. According to the court record, a bus disappeared from the cafeteria.
Oh, so they do have that. Okay.
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright.
I like how Ben's thinking thinking of like the exact opposite. Daddy Gannon really did set the standard for that. for doubting for doubting that. Okay.
I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that makes sense. He is crippled. You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However,
Monkey.
I would have gotten the bus from the. How would I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria room?
Definitely
Okay.
the monkey, because those cars of his are shiny, which means the monkey probably would have stolen it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did say in his own testimony, I can't let money outdo me, when he was talking about lifting the bust.
Yes, but that was an optional thing, so you're gonna have to try and figure it out again.
You see, Mr. Phoenix, right? Explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. But that was a lie. Not a human accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria.
Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all.
All right, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room?
The only logical thing is the monkey, though. And
It's
you
not
know,
a human accomplice. It
it's
can be put
evidence. It's technically under evidence, not profiles. Think about that. The monkey is under
down. So, yeah, it
evidence.
has to be evidence, and it's definitely not the lion.
He's dead.
A monkey?
Monkey. Everyone knows money.
Oh.
He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when he stole the ring from the ventriloquist. Close enough.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Yes, actually.
Of course, he didn't order the monkey to. Of course, he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
Objection. But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Objection! Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they're all made of platinum, which is very shiny. Whoa, man, how did they afford that?
Yeah, no offense.
Why
That
did they
bust
afford
is
that?
worth the entire circus 3 times over.
Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room.
If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be in the market for a new roommate.
He is way too chill about this. Motherfucker.
Order! Order! I said order, Miss Von Kalmer. Where is the bust in question at this moment?
Um, 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 I, I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
And BS. I don't think she actually accounted for that question to be said in court.
It has to be in the monkey stash
Hmm.
then.
This is rather strange turn of events. Let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. Like a scene poker. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as a murder weapon.
Wait. And you mean the bust was a murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acra saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron! Baka!
Keyword possible. Mr. Wright, this argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. That or I'm smoking too much. Anyways, however, this argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow.
Don't seem so bamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Rod.
You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix, right?
And what is that?
You should know.
Ugh!
You forgot that your fraud of a magical talent was spotted at the scene of the crime.
Ugh!
There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now.
I won't. This is my chance to turn the trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? It was the bust.
Has to be this, yeah. That's no other thing on that. Because
Unless you want to, unless you want to show that picture, so it's like, oh, but look at this, such an uncanny resemblance. Plus, it is a life-size bust, so
mm-hmm.
I mean, why else would we be given this picture?
To look at it.
Well, we use it for other things.
Well, it's
in
for
the
an evidence.
investigation
So,
section.
I mean, we already used the bust. I don't think the bust would be the same thing. I think if we use this photo here, it's like, notice this. So I think if we use this, I don't know, it's a long shot.
What's this supposed to mean?
Was that right? Yes. What is that supposed to mean?
Do you mind explaining that to me as well? You're getting barraged with questions, Nick, and I think they're good points.
Why is that?
Because you're on the wrong track.
Oh.
Oh well, point taken for me.
I guess I think it's just actually the bust itself. Okay, yep, yeah, I think it's just simply the bust.
I
Yeah,
think you
that's...
saved instead of loaded.
No, I did save here because I didn't want to go through all that back.
Okay.
Ah, it was the bust, yeah. He saw it was Max.
I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Objection! Contraire, mon frère, it does indeed have something to do with the question.
Au contraire, mon frère. Oh, great, now he's speaking French.
Mo said that he saw... Mo saw that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw.
How is this possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust.
Yes, yes. Objection. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
Objection! There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off of the cards in the bust's hands.
Idiot. Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust?
It doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. I may be behind, but I need to know who put the cloak on the bust. That question is of the utmost importance to the case. Don't you agree?
Hold on, let me just Zawardo. Thank you. Oh, he caught
This is
me.
a multiple choice, I swear.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
I would assume it had to be Acro because
Yeah.
he was up there. He would have had time.
Yeah, the
I
monkey's
doubt it
not
was the
smart enough.
monkey.
Yeah, the
monkey
monkey's-
literally just collects things. The monkey doesn't put cloaks on anything.
There's a flaw with that. He'd have to go downstairs to do that.
But he was downstairs. They all had a rehearsal, remember?
Yeah, and remember that what's his name? The monkey stole the stuff from the lion or the tiger. So it's not out of the
Max's stuff is pretty shiny, so I mean it's potentially possible the monkey put it on him too. I wonder, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Didn't the defendant wear his cloak the entire time he was at practice? So then, how did this person get a hold of the cloak? No, remember in earlier testimony, they said it was a black cloak, but in the pictures, he has a purple cloak on. I think someone just could put on a random cloak.
well,
Furthermore, how would this person have gotten the cloak onto the bust, I wonder? Because this person was not spotted at the scene.
I'm sorry. Okay, well at least they went out of their way to explain that to me. Also, Zawardo.
Okay, I remember who had the cloak.
Okay, who had the? Oh, it was Russell, right? Because he put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember.
No, you're not telling me that the bust hit him and then it grabbed onto his cloak by accident? Dude.
That's what I'm assuming.
Fool. Him?
You're saying that it was the victim himself, Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying.
The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust?
Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself.
Nick, do you really have a handle on all this?
I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together, and I don't need your sister's help this time. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used the rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached the rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And then that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At that very instant, that the bust hit the victim.
Oh, damn. You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix, right? As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be.
It's still a little early to get to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. The circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused a sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out of his window...
Wait, hold on a second. Sorry, pause for a second. I just realized.
What?
Lawrence Moe Curls is a reference to the Three Stooges. Lawrence being Larry, Moe being Moe, and Curls being Curly.
Yeah.
Very curly Moe.
Very
Yeah.
clever.
Just realized that. Anyways.
When Moe looked out of his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. So he
As
just
he has
kept
stated.
pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murder disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you.
Acro's been playing mind games with us all.
I don't really think he's been playing mind games. I just think he's been exercising his right to not saying very much.
In Latin America, that is
yeah.
true. You're right.
He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now.
So,
What now?
you've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
I mean, if we find the bust. In this court, only two things matter: the power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Daddy Gannon would say otherwise. Remember the 2 rules of law?
I do forget. Do tell us.
No, I forgot. I genuinely want to know. Do you guys remember?
I wasn't there when he said that.
Yeah, I forget.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? They want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there is still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then. Use that and get us out of this jam.
What was the contradiction? I couldn't remember what the cloud was talking about.
It was days ago. A week ago.
Oh man. I mean, yesterday was just a week ago.
Judge?
Anyways, that's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright.
Oh no, he knows. He knows we're talking amongst ourselves.
Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims.
Now you're
so
being...
contradiction about Moe. Okay, so what do we have about Moe that's a contradiction?
I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to
Is
this
it the hat?
magic case.
Yeah, is it the hat, perhaps?
Is it the note? Have we actually presented the note?
No, we haven't presented the note, but that's motive behind all of it. But that doesn't prove that Mo had a contradiction, because apparently we're trying to go off of Mo there. Because something about what he said, and the hat was discovered at the scene of the crime, wasn't it?
And so all I could
Wait.
assume what?
Yeah, that was in the case, and that same pepper was at the cafeteria. But then again, anyone could have taken it from the cafeteria. Mo just showed us that there was pepper.
All I could tell you is that this case, the inside of this case was just him, poetic justice, I guess, because it was
I
the
suppose so. It was the pepper that killed his brother. Not really
or
killed him, but you know what I
yeah,
mean.
paralyzed him.
Okay, hard evidence. Hard evidence.
Wait,
Found
oh,
at the crime
the hat,
scene.
the hat. I want hard proof that. Wait, no, I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Because the hat was discovered there, yet Max was seen wearing it.
Well, we have a safe state.
I mean, I say potentially use the hat, because it's like, if that was found at the crime scene, then how could Max have been seen like that? Because everyone says, oh, I definitely saw Max with his hat. And Mo said, oh yeah, I saw him with his hat disappear up there. But the hat was still at the crime scene. That means there are two hats. Which means one of them had to have been the bus, because there's only one hat for Max. Unless I'm wrong.
The problem is Mac's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during his detective proceedings.
The PTSD is kicking in hard.
Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony.
The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other.
But the theory I just presented explains all these contradictions.
You fool. Do you ever shut up?
So I could only assume we give a point to Ben here, because he brought up the silk hat. So there we go. It's been a while since I got a point.
Physical bit of evidence, so it's like, it has to be something.
Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday? He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's.
Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Objection. Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
They weren't roses, it was the cards. Remember what that ventriloquist said in court. He said he witnessed white roses on Max Crest's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there
Because it
was
was
no
backwards.
white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away.
You can do it, Nick.
Of course, I can explain all of it.
What was that? Is it the picture of Max and his bust?
Please recall
Or
the
maybe
instant
not.
when the cloak snagged onto the bust. That might very well be the time we finally get to use it. If the cloak snagged onto the bust,
On there.
oh yeah, if the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses?
They fell, and they're white roses. They fell onto the ground.
No, they got covered.
Or ah,
Do you get it yet?
Backwards while the face is facing the forge.
If the cloak got
Gotcha.
snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust, which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust.
Oh man, backsides and busts.
Noticed that
I'm telling you,
because
this is
the
one
card on the
interesting case.
animation. Order! Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Sorry. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me, just like his hair. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel.
Oh no, she's doing the no.
No, 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 no.
Cut to Phoenix. Oh,
Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind?
well, what is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that? Oh,
Motive.
yeah,
there we go.
okay, that's where it
We
comes
got
in.
that. We've been sitting on this thing for a while. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude toward the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. We just proved that the dude literally lifted it down there, or at least it's a possibility. And now you're saying, motive.
It is, yeah. You have no idea how much fun this is. My mom walks in and I just show her what we're doing, and she nods. She knows about Phoenix Wright. She saw, I think, the very first season of the anime. I would never be able to get her to see like the actual gameplay footage of it, so you know. Hmm.
Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Akro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now.
Well, what do we do?
Ride the storm, baby. Just ride the storm.
There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Akra's motive. I mean, I should know this by now. And I don't know why Maya just all of a sudden had Alzheimer's.
Well, it does affect the most stupid people. It seems that this case isn't over yet.
In that case, dang it. Sorry.
You good, you good.
Very well, I feel it's a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of this Mr. Dingling's testimony after the recess.
Yes, but what is he dingling about?
The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
And with that, everybody, we will conclude this part for next time. Right after this, because I know Explode's gonna have to go to sleep, so we'll take it from here, buddy. It's already what 8 o'clock my time. It must be super late for you. So
11:11.
yeah, so we'll see you guys for the finale, and the final part of this epic case. Maybe we might do more afterwards, but we'll see from there. Anyway, till next time, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.